Till I said set.
I will. No, I'm try and give her your number.
Don't do that, please. God, no.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Off the Bandwagon. I am host number one. I am thing one. That'd be Kev over here in this ear.
And number one.
And that would be the other number one, Shawn B over there.
What's up, dude?
Singing you your bedtime tunes. So we are here today to discuss one of the dumbest decisions in recent sports history, and that is the Miami Dolphins signing of Jay Cutler. It brings me so much joy, honestly. The Dolphins are one of those teams. I'll be happy if they are just trash for all of eternity. The fact that the 72 Dolphins crack champagne every time the final undefeated team loses every year, to me, I won't have any good feelings towards the Dolphins till all those old fogies die. I got to be honest with you, Shawn B. So I part of me loves this. I know our boy Nate has to love this. He's like, wow, yes, Jay Cutler, go fuck it up for somebody else, please. And that's a good way to segue to let you guys know that this is not your typical sports show. This is a not safe for work sports show, so you can play us in your hearphones. Well, hearphones isn't a thing. I meant to say headphones. But you know what I mean.
I like that you're innovating out here, though.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm trying to be
earphones.
I'm trying to do my Stephen A. thing, and just take two words and just mash them up together, and then say it with some metaphorological emphasis. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of conviction, and I know. No, sorry, I can't. I don't have that kind of energy. It's late. I can't. I can't get on my Stephen A. right now.
Not right now, man.
I might. Be bringing down some bad spirits.
It's almost bedtime, man.
It's almost bedtime for the Dolphins season.
Right.
Why?
Actually, they're past their bedtime because they just put the whole damn team to sleep at this one. That is crazy. I don't understand how this dude keeps getting a job. Like, he hasn't been shit. He ain't never been shit. He ain't never going to be shit.
He's not even on the you used to be somebody team. He's an all-timer. You could have been somebody.
Right.
He's not even a has-been. He is a never was.
He's killing it in Vanderbilt, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But since he stepped a fucking foot on NFL turf, he has been a straight Bodie juice. And the fact that the man keeps getting the job leads me to believe that somebody's drinking the retard Kool-Aid because, I don't get how you can go and play for the fucking Bears. How many seasons? 3, 4 seasons he was there? He was there for a minute.
Just way too many.
Yeah, enough to put our great friend Nate through a misery. And unfortunately, that team just will continue to put him through misery because I don't know who the hell's running the show over there in Chicago, but God bless Nate's heart. He deserves better. But now he can be relieved that Jay Cutler is going to be down south fucking it up for people in Miami because that's what that dude does best is fuck everything up. So, yeah, man. Kev, what's your take on this, dude? Do you think this was was this the best move they could make at this point in the offseason? I mean, were there other options? What's going on with this, man?
Well, there were definitely other options. So, before I give you my opinion, let's go ahead and just rationalize. Let's use the arguments that are the arguments that are being used for why this signing occurred. So Adam Gase, Cutler had his best season as an NFL quarterback with Adam Gase as his offensive coordinator. So that's a reason, they're thinking, okay, well, these two can work together. One of Jay Cutler's many excuses is that he didn't have a whole lot of solidarity. There wasn't a lot of consistency in Chicago as far as, not only different offensive coordinators almost every year, but there was a stretch there, where the head coaching job was a bit of a revolving door in Chicago as well. So, but that being said, his best season ever, he threw for 3,200 yards. It was an average season by NFL quarterback standards. So it's not great. It's not like he was it's not like he was a Pro Bowler that one year and shit the rest of the year. No, it was okay. He was finally Andy Dalton for 1 year. And so all of a sudden that's going to save. Now, so there were other options. Obviously, the big one, the one everyone's throwing out, would be Kaepernick, right? So last year, I know, like, for instance, here in our house, our bad dinner guest, Lucky, is really against Kaepernick. You guys can actually, if you're listening to this live, that means you're on our Facebook page. Scroll down there, you can find the fight that we got in over Colin Kaepernick, and the idea being, where he was focusing solely on wins. That guy, he only won. He would stick into that one. 3 for 16. But realistically, football's a team sport more than any other team sport, and Kaepernick threw 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. His QBR was, I think, 23rd in the league. He had a better QBR last year than Ryan Tannehill, who actually was the starter for the Dolphins. Had a better QBR than Cam Newton. Definitely had to have had a better QBR than Jay Cutler, and if he didn't, it's because Cutler was out all season.
Right.
And then people, the immediate counter to Colin outside of, okay, well, he took a knee one time, and somehow in today's America that's less acceptable than beating your wife or falling asleep drunk at the wheel. But whatever, guys. You just keep being you. Just
keep being us.
Exactly. You just keep making those logical, rational decisions, and we'll be here to piss you off. And so now everyone's the throw was, okay, he wore a Fidel Castro shirt, so now we can't. Half the population is Cuban. What's the number? Like 36% of Cubans down there. So because he wore a T-shirt with Malcolm X and Fidel Castro on it, now he's persona non grata. My thing is, if you want to win, you want to win. Put yourself in the best position to win, right? He's a running quarterback. What do the Dolphins do?
That's all they do, really.
They hand it to All Day Jay.
Yeah. And the thing that kills me about this situation is, I'm just going to say it right now, I'm not a Kaepernick fan by any means, but I think it's very shitty that he's catching so much shit over the whole knee thing, man, because it's like, you know what? Let's just face it, dude. If it was a white quarterback that did that, nobody would have gave a fuck. They would have tried to understand him. But it's just shitty, man. Like, it's just, people are constantly proving, because for years, people, racism's dying. It's going to be done. I just can't fucking tell. Like, it's live and well for what I see. Like, motherfuckers are just, it blows my mind. If the dude can play, put him in. Sign him. Give him a fucking shot. Okay, you can't blame him for his decline in San Fran. That has been a revolving door as well on all positions of that organization. Coordinators, coaches. Didn't it even change ownership, if I'm not mistaken?
I can't remember. Yes, I don't know exactly when in the how recent the ownership change was, but you're right about that. And not only that, so the dude's leading receiver last year was Jeremy Curley. That guy was signed 2 weeks before the season started. Yeah. He had the ghost of Torrey Smith to throw to. Carlos Hyde not playing full seasons, doesn't have a lot of help. And even if he was healthy, they're throwing 9 in the box because there's no one for him to throw to.
Right.
And that being said, again, he wasn't terrible.
No.
He was better than Action Jay Cutler in my mind. And when and I agree with you that it's sort of an unofficial blackballing. While I don't believe that all owners, because at the end of the day, and that's the reality of it here, he's just too fringe. He's a middle class football player. If he were a top tier player, if he were Greg Hardy, remember the atrocities Greg Hardy did. But you know what? There's not a lot of guys at that position that can get to the quarterback the way he used to be able to do it. So if Ray Rice were in his 3rd year, when he knocks out his fiance, he might have found another team. But he was a running back pushing 30, and the market for that isn't very high. So why do you take the risk? The one fly in the ointment for that to me really though is Mike Vick, because Mike Vick was the exact same age as Kaepernick is now, and was fresh off a 2-year prison sentence, and the Eagles signed him up right away. And so again, what NFL owners are telling you is that you, America, are okay with this guy committing a felony and murdering dogs and all the other stuff that comes into that. But you, the American people, are not okay with someone doing something that is a protected, right of theirs, their First Amendment right. So it's okay to beat your wife, murder dogs, get drunk behind the wheel. It's okay to shoot guns at strip clubs, but it's not okay to stand up for what you believe in if you also happen to be a black dude with an afro. That's kind of the message that is getting sent by the NFL's ownership. And it is weird. And the funny, and this is where you know it's a little bit legitimate, is when you hear the other candidates that the Dolphins had considered that they were going to reach out to before they were willing to consider Colin Kaepernick. Shawn B, lay it down for these folks, because I can barely even say this.
They were actually looking at Tim Tebow and Kyle Orton as possibilities to start, and they decided on Cutler.
So Tim Tebow was riding a bus in South Carolina somewhere trying to catch a AA game.
Yeah.
Kyle Orton's coaching middle school football somewhere. He probably hasn't been to the barber since he played his last game, so he's out there. You're not sure if Kyle Orton's a human or a Yeti at this point.
Me personally, dude, I'd have signed Willie Beeman. That's what I would have done. I'd have brought his ass on and like, hey, dude, just go out there and, aim for the Buick. Tell him to go down there and make a slant by the Buick. Think you just act like you're playing in the street again, man. Pulled out Pacino on him.
It's every yard, it's every inch. It's all the million little decisions you make.
So Willie Beeman.
So the other issue I have with it, like X's and O's, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because think about how the Dolphins use Tannehill. Tannehill is I call him a deceptively agile quarterback. Dude's pretty mobile. He's a former wide receiver. Like Tannehill can get out and move. Yeah. If you watch the Dolphins enough, you see they pound the run. They use a lot of bootlegs, a lot of play action. Tannehill is good when moving. So you've got Cutler, who can't do any of that, who also can't stay healthy. I mean, he missed. Now, granted, the Bears kept him on the bench longer than he needed to be with that thumb injury, because there was no point to that season, and might as well see what you've got from the young guy to decide, so that they could make this decision to go out and sign a backup quarterback for overpay someone else's backup and trade up to draft a rookie quarterback. But that's the thing. The Bears are that dumb, and they knew to walk away from Jay Cutler. If that doesn't tell you, you know what I mean? That's like, I don't know. It's just like having your dumbest friend or whatever, I don't know, to stop eating some garbage food, I don't know, and then you just, there's a terrible analogy I just fumbled all over. Anyway, you see someone like the Bears walking away from this guy, how is your instinct not to just run in the opposite direction? That being said, X's and O's wise, Kaepernick brings something different at least.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting out of Cutler. You're getting an average drop-back quarterback that can't really do much. Kaepernick at least forces you to change your defensive game plan, because now you can run read options with Jay Ajayi, and you can run option, it would be an easier bandage, if Tannehill's coming back in 8 to 10 weeks and the only goal is let's keep ourselves upright to make a playoff push. I felt like Kaepernick gave him a real chance to do that, whereas Cutler's going to lose you more games than he wins you.
With Cutler, you're getting an average, in my opinion, below average quarterback with the ego of an elite quarterback, but he has no elite in his fucking bones at all. His ego is bigger than his dick. You know what I'm saying? He's a ballless
I know
freak.
He's got a pretty banging wife, dude.
His wife is pretty.
That might be the one bone in his body that is. I don't know. I'm saying
maybe he is swinging,
but he's probably got that money too, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, dude. He's a fucking journeyman, dude. I'm so sick of this son of a bitch. I'm just mad he keeps getting fucking jobs.
But think about it this way: there's always
want him off Madden. I don't want him on the game. I don't even want to see his face, dude. Even if I'm facing, I don't want him on the goddamn game no more. Anyways, Kev,
there's a silver lining to this, though, because now you don't have to hear that idiot on your TV at all during any Sundays this year, because that's what I was really dreading. I couldn't believe that someone was going to pay this guy money to analyze football. It's like, dude, based on what I've seen, I don't really know how much you know about football.
Right. Who the fuck would pay Jake Go ahead.
Jake, no. You
I'm about
keep
to
going.
blow my lid over
I
here.
was just saying, Jay Cutler to me is Uncle Rico. He's out there on the practice field, like, I bet I can throw a football over them mountains. And it's like that's not what the game is, Jay. Yeah, but I bet I could do it though, and ain't none of one of you guys could do it. And then there's the whole pouting thing, right? Because I feel like that's probably what gets to you the most, right? You've seen good old Jay just sulk.
My favorite part of watching Jay Cutler, my favorite thing about it is when he's getting his ass knocked on the ground and he's getting hauled off the field and put on the bench. That's the favorite part of his career that I enjoy. Like, you know, a lot of times like, oh, dude, I love Derek Carr's accuracy, or, you know, Cam Newton, dude, he can really get around. But no, Jay Cutler, like, I love when he's walking to the fucking bench. Like, I love it. Because he just stinks up the place, dude. It makes football not enjoyable for me. I don't want to watch. And I actually liked the Bears a little bit. Like, I don't hate the Bears. I'm not a Bears fan. But I wouldn't mind watching the Bears play a game. But I don't want to watch fucking Jay Cutler behind the center. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that, man. I'm so glad he's out of Chicago. And as far as the Dolphins go, they're not a team I hate either. But I'm not a huge fan, but I do like some of their players, like Devontae Parker. You know, he's pretty sick. You know, if he can stay healthy, I think he could be a stud for real. You got All Day Jay over there. I mean, there's a few players that I'd like to see play, but now Cutler's over there fucking polluting that whole organization, and I just don't know if I can watch a game.
I think my conspiracy theorist is going to come out here. I feel like, you know, somebody find where Tanya Harding is. I want to know. You know, this was allegedly a non-contact injury that took Tannehill out. But this seems to me like now all of a sudden it's almost like a farewell gift to Tom Brady. It's like, all right, old Tom's getting old, so let's make sure that AFC East just stays weak. Because it was already weak. The Dolphins were the only team that were going to contend. Don't anybody look me in my eyes and tell me the Bills are going to win more than 8 games this year.
No.
Or that the Jets are going to win 3 games this year. You know, it was Dolphins or bust, and now they don't even have that. So now, you know, Tom Brady can go out there and set a record for most yards passed from your non-throwing hand, and the Pats will still win 12 to 14 games in that weak JV JUCO version of a division. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have kneecap gate soon. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if old Hoodie sent one of his thugs down there to pull an old Miss Harding.
Yeah,
Bust dude's kneecap. So, since Colin Kaepernick has had another job taken away from him, you know, that Ravens thing is still out there. You know, the Ravens, for those of you who don't know, signed a quarterback who had fewer career collegiate passing yards than anybody sitting in this room right now. Both Shawn B and myself outthrew this guy in our collegiate football careers. That being said, Shawn and I never played a down of football, but we at least didn't throw for -1 yards in college, which is what Mr. Olsen, the newest Baltimore Raven, threw for. So when a guy like that, like this isn't,
this
is
assaulting.
Yeah.
Like this is, if I was Colin Kaepernick, man, I would be hating the NFL. He probably does right now. But I would be out to get everybody. Like I'd be painting everybody a racist. Because this is fucked up, dude. Like, how do you fucking sign a guy, like Kev just said, negative yards in college? And how was he even playing professional football? I get he was in like the AFL or whatever. But how did he even get a job playing for them dudes? For the fucking Bumma Nuts or whatever the fuck they're called up there in Canada or wherever the fuck he was at.
the Saskatchewan Bumma Nuts.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what the fuck, man? Negative.
It's actually my favorite CFL team. It's funny.
The Bumma Nuts, dude. That's crazy.
And, oh, my goodness. So, and that's another team where, again, if all you need is a Band-Aid, and they're saying Colin Kaepernick's not a Band-Aid, but the guy who really pissed me off in all this was Richard Sherman. Because after he had plenty of opportunities to stand up for Colin when his team was talking about and to Colin Kaepernick. Now, after 2 other teams have passed, now is when he's going to talk about how it's not right and how he's being blackballed and how he deserves to have a spot in the league. It's like, motherfucker, where were you 2 weeks? This guy was in your building. You didn't have this conversation then? You're not afraid to walk up to Pete Carroll and say, don't you dare throw the ball on second. You know what I'm saying? He's got no problem telling the coach how to run the offense on a week-to-week basis based on last season. But it like that's that sucker move. You know, we talked about this with Floyd Mayweather earlier the other night about how he knew that the rules stated he had to wear 10-ounce gloves. So naturally, to be a fake tough guy, he went on Instagram and was like, yo, dude, I'll fight you in 8-ounce gloves, knowing damn well no one was going to let him fight in 8-ounce gloves, right? Yeah, he's flexing. He's out here peacocking. And that's what Richard Sherman did. And you want to talk about a guy I'm ready to not see in the NFL anymore? It's fucking Richard Sherman. Like, you're not even good enough to back it up anymore. You know, like he's not. 3 years ago, Richard Sherman could get away with this because he was that dude.
Yeah.
He was mama, there goes that man. Now he's just another dude out there.
Taking up space and shit.
And just realizing, like, oh, my window's closing, so let me go back to be in that, you know, NFL social justice warrior. And it bothers me because he's a smart guy, and he feels fake as hell to me. And then it's upsetting. Because
it's disappointing because, like you said, he was that dude, and I actually really respected him, but he's just talked so much smack, man, these last couple seasons. It's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, go over there and get you some Gatorade, dude, and kick it for a minute. Get the fuck off the mic. Like, the guy is just constantly got something to say, and it's like I love a good trash talk. I love it. But, like, there's things like this, like you said, like the whole, like, peacock thing. It's like, dude, where the fuck were you when dude was trying to get a backup job in Seattle?
Exactly.
You know, now all of a sudden, you know, you want to get all fucking political. And, oh, they're blackballing them. And it's like, dude, go eat a dick. Go eat a fucking dick.
And it wouldn't be so bad if the Legion of Boom hadn't turned into the Legion of Gloom, right? Like if they still could be doing some stuff out there,
right, then
you put up with that, right? That's what comes with the territory. You get to be that dude. But
fucking Richard Herman, man.
Richard Herman Walker. As far as Kaepernick goes, let's just say, for instance, because it really doesn't feel like that thing in Baltimore is going to work, especially after Cap's girlfriend posted apparently some kind of pic on Twitter. It was a Django reference, and it had Steve Biscotti, the Ravens owner, depicted as Leo DiCaprio, and it had Ray Lewis depicted as Sam Jackson in that movie. So that's another thing. You want to get a job, like not to be. This is going to be a hot take later. Someone's going to take it and call me a sexist, whatever. But like, you want to get back in the NFL. Like, check your girl, man. Yeah. What is she doing? Like, you're trying to get a job with this guy, right. And I understand she's not necessarily even wrong, maybe in what she's saying. But dude, you're trying to get a job, man. Yeah. Like, this is why I'm not saying you're wrong, but at a certain point. Like, a dude keeps sticking his hand in the oven, and you're going to just not feel sorry for him anymore either. That's my thing. It does suck he's getting blackballed, but it feels like he's kind of forced his own way out of Baltimore. And with that in mind, Shawn B, is there anywhere that you see Colin Kaepernick being on a 53-man roster coming into week one? You think anybody's going to jump on this?
Man, that's tough. I mean, honestly, I don't think so, dude. Not unless somebody gets hurt and they've done scraped through the AFL and everything and gotten all the negative college passers that they could get. And I don't know, dude. This is sad. I would like to say maybe somewhere like maybe New York Jets. Yeah, I know they could use some help.
Yeah, but they're trying to lose.
You think so?
I think they're trying to pull the old Philly tank. They're trying to trust the process up there in New York. That's what I mean. So, and again, you want to talk about a place. New York is like the sports hub of the world. You know what I mean? The sports fans there. Look at what happened. Look at what's happened to Melo. Look at what happened to Phil Jackson. Like, they'll eat you alive. They won't wait. And if there's already a negative side of it, then you got to take into account. This probably sounds like I'm pulling it from left field, but you got to take into account the whole 9/11 factor too. Like, there's probably not as. New York's got to be one of the most patriotic places out here, right? Like that's not a place where there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of firefighters, a lot of policemen, and all. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people up there that are gonna dog good old Colin. And I agree with you on this. I think the only way this guy gets a job is if someone gets hurt in the regular season.
Yeah.
Because at that point you're like, okay, we're 6-4. Our guy's going to be out for 4 weeks. Like, we need to win 2 out of these next 4. We need a guy who can actually come in here and play. We can't be tossing Ryan Mallett out here now, okay? We can't have Tom Savage lining up right now. So, yeah, I think at some point this is inevitably going to come to a halt here, and week 1's going to roll around, and we're going to stop talking about Colin because he won't be on a team, and then give it till week 5 or 6, and he'll be on a team that none of us has considered yet. I still am holding on to the concept. I'm going to say it right now. If I had to pick one team I think this guy may end up on this year, I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Because I think Blake Bortles is that close to just losing his job. And I don't know what they have back there, but they have put together a team that is so close. Tom Coughlin hates Blake Bortles. He's not necessarily saying it. He has said certain things along the lines of their need for improvement. Hate is a strong word. I don't think the leash is very long down there in Jacksonville because they have a team that is very close to being able to win right now in a division that is up for grabs.
That defense is getting sick, dude. Like, they have a sick defense. Like, man, and they're loading up. Like, honestly, that probably is their weakest link right now is that QB spot, dude. When you think about it, like, you got Robinson, you got Hearns on the outsides. You know, I don't know who their slot is offhand, but the running back game is getting nasty. They drafted
Fournette.
Yeah, Fournette.
They got Fournette
dude.
In there with what's his name?
TJ Yeldon.
Yep.
And you got Miles
They still have
Jack.
Julius Thomas over there at the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a whole lot of promise there. Kaepernick could come in there and, again, just hand the ball off 25 times, 35 times between the two backs, a couple of read options. You could go into Jacksonville. If you can beat Chad Pennington in Jacksonville, you could probably win 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is just not make mistakes out there. Let those athletes make those plays.
Slow, man, and just move the fucking ball. Like, that's interesting. Now that you say that, like, I can kind of see that going down.
And I will put it on record with my boy Andrew Luck being on the PUP list right now, which to me I believe is just a coy move. If there was any real danger of Andrew Luck not being ready by at least week 2, I would hope the Colts would have addressed Scott Tolzien as the backup. You see that game against Pittsburgh last year? Holy crap!
I didn't
dude.
see the game, but I saw the highlights, and
that I would sign.
Buddy.
I would sign this Jimmy Olsen dude from the Arena League before throwing Scott Tolzien back out there. But that being said, if something really comes down with Andrew Luck, I'd take Cap in Indy because I can't go through another 1-15 season. Cap will get me 3 wins. I'll take that. Like, give me something.
maybe 5, dude.
Maybe in that. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Well, brother, you got any parting words for our boy Jimmy J. Cutler?
Yeah, dude. I hope you fuck your leg or something up because I don't like you and you're a buster ass bitch. And I hope you hear this one day because you need to. Because I'm tired of people kissing your funky little ass. And I wish you would just stop getting these fucking jobs. You're unemployable, dude. But somehow you keep getting employed and it irritates me. God. Anyways, I would let you fucking make fries at McDonald's, bro. That's how much of a scrub this dude is. I'm over it, man. I'm fucking over it. I hope this is the last season this bum is in the league. Because I'm ready. Like I said, dude, Madden, I almost don't want to buy a new Madden because this scrub is playing on a good team. You know what I'm saying? But I won't buy it any fucking ways because I'm a tool. And I always buy fucking Madden every year it comes out. But it irritates me that this bum, if I played with the Dolphins, I would have to cut his ass immediately. Like, I'd sign like Jake Coker or somebody or fucking off the free agency, dude, and just ball out. But, yeah, anyways, I'm done ranting.
You traded for a 7th-round pick. And with that, I would just like to say, Jay Cutler, find me on LinkedIn, bro, because whatever you're doing, I want to know your secret. Because I'm trying to live that life where I just don't ever do shit and people still pay me. So get at me, bro. I want to talk to you. A fisherman always spots another fisherman from afar.
Yes.
And with that, I am going to say my good nights. I want to say to you guys that listen live, thank you. This was our first time going live from our own show or our own page here at Off the Bandwagon. You can find all of our other shows on Bad Dinner Guests, of course, but we're going to be coming live just to you guys from now on as often as we can. So let us know the stuff you want to hear us talk about. I know we are going to do a big breakdown of the big three current standings. I've been working on a power rankings article. Spoiler alert, Trilogy's number 1. If you don't know anything about any of that, just know right now there's only one undefeated team in Big Three history. So let's go. Anyway, those games are on tomorrow at 8, so you can expect our podcast and my articles sometime around then.
Yeah, buddy. That's how we roll. But, yeah, you guys have a good night, man. Until next time, keep rocking and rolling, man.